So this is gonna be a next one, or actually another one from Dalio. Intro is still not working. I'm very sorry. It's been a problem in the last episode as well. But hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast, and I'm just really fucking sweating. It's just been quite a nice day. Now it's a little bit cloudy, but up to I think 2 hours ago or something, it has been really fucking beautiful. So in terms of the weather, and yeah, so today we are going ahead with Ray Dalio's principles. I'm pretty fucking pumped, even though I noticed that my voice is gonna just be pretty fucked afterwards because it's already pretty fucked. Sorry. But I hope it's going to be a good episode, and I hope you're doing well. I really hope you're doing well, and really thank you for actually clicking on this video or clicking on this podcast. It means the world for me. Like, having someone to watch my shit and seeing that, people actually watching my shit more in the last few days somehow is pretty nice. And something, if you're also just a creator yourself, if you do like to just create things, whether it be just something like, some crafty things, some videos as well, or some designs, or whatever it will be, just really don't forget to have fun. I think it's one of the most important things, and this is also something that I have to kind of remind myself on as well. Even though it sounds so shit and so fucking stupid to actually say like, yeah, you're making a video, just have a little bit fun. It's just, I don't know, it's pretty dumb somehow, but still, it's really important. It really fucking is to have fun and to actually remind yourself of, because if you don't have fun, I think you won't get anywhere. Like, if you're really forcing yourself to do certain things, whether it be making the video, let's say, making the video wasn't fun for me. How could I actually manage to get to a place where I'm actually successful with it if I don't actually like doing it? Like, it will take a lot of time. It will take a lot of time and a lot of effort. And that's for sure, 100%. There's gonna be a lot of time that I have to put into this and a lot of work that I have to put into this until I'm getting successful, or at least a little bit successful. I'm not talking about a million subscribers or a million just podcast downloads or something like this. I'm just, I don't know, talking about 1,000 people who actually subscribe to my fucking channel. It's gonna take a lot of fucking time and a lot of fucking work. And if I wouldn't like it, then I wouldn't be able to sustain the quality and sustain actually, the motivation, the grind that I'm having, so that I actually can get to this point. Like fucking yeah. Nevertheless, tactical points. This is actually where I've stopped the last time. I do remember, because I thought like, yeah, you know what? I guess I'm not, gonna go further, because somehow I think it was just pretty late in the episode, and I decided to actually not go through it, but have it in a one video, the whole thing, so that everything is together and people actually do not have to literally watch 7 episodes only to get one singular point. Like, would have been stupid, or would just be fucked for the people who are watching my stuff. But yeah, so the tactical points. These steps must be completed in order, otherwise you will worry about barriers and avoid confronting the true problems. Don't think about how you'll achieve a goal while you set it. Don't worry about how to solve a problem when you diagnose it. This is actually a great point, because I'm actually always talking about setting goals. You have to set goals, and they have to be just, measurable, something that I always say. I myself, in terms of the YouTube video, I do not have measurable goals. I really don't have. I don't have. It's also the same thing for my social media. The only thing that I'm just, watching, and the only thing that I'm quite doing is actually putting out as much as I can. And this is somehow my way to get there. Somehow. It really is. I'm not thinking about like, okay, you know, in 2 years I'm gonna have, or I'm willing to have 5 million subscribers or something like this, because this would be something measurable. And this would mean like, okay, I just need to have, let's make the maths. I'm actually having a calculator next to me. So fucking fortunate that I've actually recognized it, and I do hope. So this totally will just sound shitty, and this hopefully sounds good. I'm really fucking glad that I've noticed it. Who? Who? But let's say, okay, I have no subscribers basically. The only subscribers that I'm having are friends of mine and also myself, but nobody's actually watching my shit. So I have, let's say, in 2 years, I'm willing to have 2 million subscribers. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's divide it by 365. 65 days, which means that I have to get 5,000. No, it's for 2 years. I have divided by 365 times 2 because it's 2 years. This would have been just 2,739 and 39 subscribers each day. 2,739 subscribers each day, divided by 24, because of, you know, the hours, which would be 114 subscribers each hour. The problem about this is now, it is quite hard to measure it. Like, you know, how could I? For sure. Like, oh, I'm noticing something. Something is not quite great. I'm having to delete certain things on my PC because I actually do not want the fucking recording to stop. Just have to move a little data around. I think it's not gonna just fuck the episode or something. How much is it? 6 gigabytes. It's okay. So yeah, you know, it's not something that I can measure. Like, I can't somehow pursue all the people to somehow subscribe. For sure, there are certain tricks and there are certain things you can do to actually get more attention on your videos or something like this. But in total, like, it's hard to put it like this. But I'm not just, you know, kind of being like, yeah, you know, I can't do anything for it. Totally. Like, but yeah, you know, let's move on. Weaknesses don't matter if you find solutions, which is the second one, and it totally makes sense. And weaknesses also do not matter because you shouldn't focus on them. You should totally focus on the things you're good at, even though you have to do it in school as well. In school, you also have to focus on things you're not good at. And this is one critique, but it makes sense. Like, you do just have to have dedication in all the areas. Whether you're good at them or you're bad at them, doesn't quite matter for the world, for the state, for whoever is actually, has been making this kind of law. No one is great at all 5 parts. Find which major step you typically fail. Yeah, so there's the 5-step process that I was talking about in the last episode, and yeah, totally, no one is great at all 5 of them, and so you should totally just see at which one you're failing and then just solve it, or let it solve by actually maybe hiring people, firing people, getting automation, getting AI. There's so many ways. Like yeah. How is it doing? Has it been copied? I guess so. So let's delete some things. And now everything should be fine again. So yeah, choose which habits, find other people to cover your weaknesses. Actually, something that I just said, and I haven't even read the thing. And get better at it yourself. Choose which habits to acquire and which to get rid of. If you can rid yourself of your top 3 harmful habits, you will radically improve the trajectory of your life. It totally is. Like, habits fucking matter. They really fucking matter a lot. Because yeah, these just create our patterns, or our habits are somehow our patterns. Afterwards, by the way, I'm going to go outside and just ride my fucking bike. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. I'm taking my book with me because I actually have to read it. It's just sometimes I'm doing a really poorly job actually in getting to read, or just reading on an habitual base. So quite on some, you know, to actually get it out. Sometimes I'm reading and I'm actually enjoying it. I sometimes really love reading, and sometimes I just typically hate it. Maybe it comes up to the book, and it also will come up to how my day is structured. You know, normally I've been reading in the train, like, you know, all the way up to just the destination I have to go to when I'm just going to school. I've always been reading, and it's been quite a great thing to do because I've enjoyed it. And the funny thing is that I only enjoy reading when I am in the fucking train. I cannot read in the bus because it's, you know, just physically not possible, because there are so many fucking people in there. Most of them are students, you know, who are actually attending the same school as I am. And, you know, when I'm at home, I'm just doing something else. And I do not actually get the pleasure out of it somehow. And I've even, you know, and this is actually somehow funny, I've even been thinking of actually sitting myself into the fucking train and going somewhere only to read. You know, it's not costing me anything. I'm just having such a yearly kind of, let's say subscription, so that I can actually kind of take the train whenever I want to, how often I want to, and whatsoever. So I could basically just, you know, sit myself into the train, and drive somewhere only to read. I don't know. You know, what I know is that, for example, I think it was J.K. Rowling. I think it was J.K. Rowling. She actually sit herself into a coffee shop or cafe, whatever it is called, I don't fucking know, to actually write. And because she just really likes to have the people around her, to really have some noises around her to actually write. And then she decided, like, yeah, I'm gonna just sit myself into fucking coffee, never fucking mind. And to actually only write. So, you know, you could do the same thing. If you're just actually noticing, like, okay, in certain occasions or in certain places you're able to do what you're doing just, you know, at your best, on the really top level, then you should totally do this. Because it makes sense. It just makes sense. The next one is visualize the success. You can crave the thrill of success even while struggling to achieve it, and also feel the tragic results of not pushing through. What hurts more, the pain of hard work or the pain of regret? It's not from him. I guess it's actually from Les Brown. So what hurts more, the pain of hard work or the pain of regret? Because the funny thing is, and I'm actually seeing that I haven't come far into this app. In the summary, I'm just really feeling not that good. Just, yeah, maybe I should just sit down properly. Les Brown has also been speaking about pain and the pain of regret and regret itself quite often, and I've been hearing a lot of other people also think and speak and talk about regret, and I really think that it is a really fucked up thing. Like, yeah, you know, if you just are pretty old and you can't do anything, which is the example that most of the people just will give you, if you're really old and you can't do any fucking thing, then you're fucking fucked. Like, you're just really at the end of your life and you can't do anything. And everything that you're regretting right now is just like, just unnecessary because you can't change it anyways. Like, you're old, you're gonna die. And I think it's pretty hard to imagine. Like, you know, for me, especially as a pretty young person, it is really tough to imagine. Like, you know, I'm not thinking about dying. I'm really not. I'm not even thinking about having just 2 less time somehow. Like, for sure, I'm gonna live just 80 something years from now on. It is long. It is pretty long, especially if you kind of think about like the time you have been living up to this point. Like, I'm 18 now, and in those 18 years, I've been seeing so many fucking things. I've been just doing so much shit. Like, in terms of, you know, actually good shit and bad shit. And it's not like, you know, it's just, you know, a snap or something, and then 18 years are gone. It's just actually a pretty long time. So yeah. Craving a score in defining habits is covered in The Power of Habit, which is, I think, actually also one of the books that I've went through, but I haven't particularly, I think, enjoyed the summary, I think. I'm not sure. So stop and do this exercise. Go through the 5-step process. For the identify problem step, point out the single biggest obstacle that is getting in the way of reaching your goals. And the second one is, which of the 5 steps are you weakest at? Are you weakest at? What are examples of mistakes you have made where this weakness showed itself? And list ways to get around these weaknesses. Who do you know who's strong at this step? Who can help you execute? Actually, pretty nice. I pretty fucking love it. So actually do the exercise. I'm showing you. I'm going through it with you. I'm only gonna read the headlines. So the first thing is, set a clear goal. I can do this. I'm actually able to do this. Actually, like, clear. It's measurable. It's achievable. It's gonna be real. It's a SMART goal. Do you know SMART? Something that we've learned actually in marketing. The S stands for, I think it was sustainability, or was it for, the M is measurable, smart. The A is kinda attraction, in terms of actually it is fun to pursue it, or it just makes sense to pursue it, or there is a reason why I pursue it. The R is, you know what? I'm gonna look it up. I'm just looking up at the moment. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Timely is like, okay, you know, there's a certain time span where you're doing it. Then relevant is like, okay, there's a certain attraction to it, as I know. Attainable, or it was attainable. Relevant is maybe that it just makes sense to do it and that you are just doing it. Measurable is clear, and specific is also clear. Like, you should be totally do something like that. Yeah, that is specific. Not like, okay, I'm just doing like, it's the same thing as like, okay, you know, I'm just gonna be rich. Not pretty specific. It's like, yeah, maybe I'm just actually gonna read what there's actually standing. Specific, what exactly do you want to achieve? The more specific your description, the bigger the chance you'll get exactly that SMART goal setting. Clarifying the difference between I want to be a millionaire and I want to make $5,000 a month for the next 10 years. Actually, the exact fucking same explanation and the exact same thing that I'm always kinda putting out as well. Like, pretty funny. Pretty fucking funny. So yeah, set a clear goal. The first one, identify problems and don't tolerate them, is the second one. The third one is diagnose problems to get at their root causes. And the best thing to do is actually just, you know, ask yourself why. Why are you feeling bad? Because I haven't slept. Why haven't you slept? Because my girlfriend just, kind of was, I've had an argument with my girlfriend. Why had you an argument with your girlfriend? Because I did some shit. Why did you some shit? Because I felt like, I don't know why. Why don't you know? Up to this point where you exactly know what was the root of the whole fucked up situation. The fourth thing is design solutions to get around those problems, to actually kind of just solve them. And the fifth thing is do the tasks required to completion. I think it's about executing the whole shit you've been planning. Makes sense. Really makes sense. Let's go to embrace reality and relentlessly find the truth. This is probably the strongest theme of the book and the biggest barrier people have to making better life decisions. This small little snap, wait. It's so fucking loud. Just amazing. So most of Dalio's principles can be seen as springing from this root. Much of principles' work in life is about understanding the importance of finding the truth and how to achieve it over common obstacles. The introduction. Don't fall into the trap of wishing that reality were different. This gets you nowhere. Exactly the fucking thing. It is really the fucking thing. I wish it would be something different. You just wish for it. Doesn't make any fucking sense. It just doesn't get you nowhere. You just have to fucking kind of act on it. If you really want it bad, just act on it. Just do it. Someone pointed it out already. I do not know. It's always the bad thing. I'm consuming so many things and just getting so much fucking information into my fucking head that I often do not actually know where I get them from. Only when there is a really deep connection emotionally between the stuff that I've heard, the person, and me somehow. This is actually when I actually know where everything has come from. Instead, embrace your reality and deal with it. You must be radically open-minded to the possibility that you are wrong. Don't get hung up on how things should be. This will bias your objectivity. This is actually a good one, and this is totally something that I do just have to talk about for a little bit. Maybe it's gonna actually be, I'm gonna go through what they actually say, and then I'm gonna just talk about what I was thinking about. So, for example, if you think something is morally wrong, assume that you are wrong. Assume that you are wrong and figure out why what nature is doing makes sense. I'm gonna read this again. So, for example, if you think something is morally wrong, assume that you are wrong and figure out why what nature is doing makes sense. Okay. For example, hyenas killing a young wild beast. It feels wrong, but on reflection it's clear this is good for evolution of the wild beast and for the whole system. By the way, I'm really glad that I've been reading through this just before actually getting to my point. What I've actually been thinking about, and this is a really, at my point of view, very, 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 very important point that I'm going to make right now. I just have to read. So, for example, if you think something is morally wrong, don't get hung up with how things should be. This is something that I've just really been just thinking about, really, and something that really pissed me off. It is, society tells you to do something, and society says that something is okay and something is not okay. And there is not such a thing like it should be this way, or you have to do it this way. There are so many ways, and in terms of actually you doing things, like you, for example, making posts, you just, doing a video or making each video, you writing a letter, you just doing whatever it will be. There is no right fucking path to do it. There is no right path. There's only the right path for you, the most efficient, the best way for you to do this certain thing. And I just really hate it. Well, it's not like hate, but I just can't get it. I don't understand it when people point out like, you have to do it like this. Why do I have to do it like this? It doesn't make any fucking sense. If I'm just willing to do it somehow differently because it's working better for me, then why shouldn't I do it differently? The thing there is that I just do have to... Wait a minute. They're just really dark cloud outside, so I had to just look at them. The thing there is, sometimes things make sense. Sometimes people do things for a reason. Like, it's the same thing with me actually doing the laundry and my mother telling me I should do it differently. For sure, there has to be a reason why my mother is doing it this way. If there is a reason, and the reason makes sense, and I do admit it, and I do just, have to get it, for sure I'm going to do it her way. Maybe I will adapt it and just combine my way and her way so that I can just really be the most efficient with what I'm doing. If it doesn't make any sense, and it is only about, okay, this is what she is doing, and this is what has been working for her, and this is also the reason why she tells me, because it has been working for her. But if I'm seeing like, there's something that I can do, there's something that I can make, that it is somehow more efficient for me, like that I'm able to be more efficient while doing the certain thing. Why? Because I actually adapted to my preferences. Why wouldn't I be doing it? It's especially kind of difficult when you're in a creative space. There are so many ways, for example, in Photoshop to do something, and people ask you like, how would you do this? And you're like, yeah, which way do you want? Do you want the easiest way? Even though there is no fucking easiest way, there's only the best way for you. Yeah, but I think you also have to reflect on it as well. The more often you're doing it, the better, I guess, because you're just really kind of thinking about it, and you kind of asking yourself, is this actually the best way I can do this? Is there a faster way? Because often there is, through all these automations that are there, and sometimes even in software. Like, it has been just taking quite a long time until I've recognized that in Adobe Audition, which is basically the software that I'm using to edit the podcast episodes, and or just, I'm editing them in terms of, making the audio just be a little bit better, so that it is like, okay, you're not having a video. When you're just having a video to watch, it is somehow a little bit differently. Like, you just have something to watch, and the audio isn't that important. For sure it is important, but it's not that important as if you would only just have the audio, as it, is with the podcast. So I'm just really taking care of this. And it took me a little time to actually realize that I can actually automate the whole editing process, so that I actually can record all the steps that I'm just making while just editing everything, and then I can just click one button, and all the episodes get edited. And this is quite great, because it saves me a lot of fucking time. And also, in terms of society, like some things like, you have to look someone in the eyes if you're just, kind of shaking their hands. It is what fucking society says. But should it be the case? It is just, in terms of this, it's way more problematic. Like, it's the same thing as, like, you just have to wear cool clothes, or if you're having a cool car, people will see you differently, and this is gonna just make you more successful because you're just looking more successful. To some degree, I totally hate it. I really hate it, because for me, like, the external shit doesn't actually have to do something with your business and with what you're doing and whatsoever. The problem that I'm seeing there still is that the society is thinking this way. So, even though you think like, I'm just buying myself the shittiest car, like, that is just nearly fucking broken, but you're having a multi-million-dollar business, doing business with some people that actually do not know you might get a problem, because they're thinking like, yeah, business is doing shit. Why would I do business with you? You know, if they don't know what you're doing. This is also some kind of a factor. So it's pretty complicated. It's pretty complicated, but I love this topic. I really like this. I've really been liking this, you know, but I haven't gone far just in this fucking summary. I think it's gonna take me just 50 fucking episodes. But yeah, because I'm just gonna have to take a fucking shit, I'm gonna end this episode there. I wish you the best health, wealth, happiness, and success. I hope everything is great. I hope your whole family is healthy. I think you're healthy. I'm just really from the bottom of my heart. But yeah, I wish you the best health, wealth, happiness, and success. And please remind yourself on how you gonna be remembered. That being said, I see you.